program Audacity. Audacity looks like this area right here, this icon. It's kind of a sound wave with a red line through it and headphones on. That comes on all your teacher laptops. Audacity is a program you use to record an audio track, whether that be a performance of some sort or just your voice or student voices. And there's a few different cool things you can do with this. Basically, you can use your built-in microphone or an external microphone, and then you use those and you take the file and you export it to a file on your, you save it to a file on your computer, then you can export it to another program and you can use that audio with other things like images or student content. If we have time at the end, I'll see if I can find an external mic or two, but for the most part, any external microphone that's roughly around the $30–40 range. You know, if you go into one of your local retailers, you could find a good one for a reasonable price that you can use with your teacher laptop or any of your other devices that you're using as well. Okay, so with the Audacity program, we're going to start with the basics today and showing you how to record an audio track. I've actually recorded a YouTube video that shows you all the steps to recording an audio track using Audacity. And you can, we'll put this on the Tech20 Tuesday website, and you can visit that at any time. But it's right here. Take a look at it. Basically, this is welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to record an audio track using the program Audacity. So you can go through that program there, and you'll actually be able to get a refresher anytime you need it. Okay, so for the live lesson today, what you're basically doing with Audacity is this is how the platform screen looks. To record a track, there's a couple different things you can do. Basically, your main menu is what you'll see up here, and just like kind of the typical play button, record button, pause, stop, forward and backwards type deal. To record a track, you can actually go in to Project and start a new audio track, and it will be here for you. But even if you don't do that, you can just start by recording with this record button. And so I'm just going to click this record button, and you'll actually see that it's picking up the internal microphone that's found on my laptop. So if I hit this record button, right now I'm talking, and you can see those wave files moving. And that's actually my voice that it's picking up right now, and any other voice in the background a little bit. And when I'm ready to stop, I just hit this yellow stop button, and I stop. Okay, so this is the audio track that I've got. If I want to go back to the beginning, I just hit this back button, and it will bring me back to the start. The first thing I want to do is I want to listen to my audio track to make sure that I'm happy with it. So I'm going to hit my play button. Right now I'm talking. You can see those wave files moving. And that's actually my voice that it's picking up right now, and any other voice in the background a little bit. So that's my recorded content. If I'm not happy with that, I can hit this X button right over here, and that will delete that track, and I can follow the steps again to record another track. If I want to record multiple tracks, then I can just hit this record button again, and it will already start in on another multiple track there. And when I stop that, then I can have these two tracks. Maybe you want to record, a good idea would be to record a track twice and choose between the best one. There's also ways that you can choose sections of tracks to include where I could use this component here and stick it up in here somewhere, or have them go together. That'd probably be a lesson for another day. So I'll just delete this track here. Now, what I'm going to show you is just a few of these steps that you can clean up your track with before Waylon shows us how to save it. So if I want my audio to start right away, you can see on my track where the audio starts. And maybe this is something I want to get rid of. So as you can see right now, up in this top left corner, it's showing you a cursor, and this allows me to highlight things. It doesn't necessarily allow me to move things, but it allows me to highlight things and to have some control over them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here where my audio track starts, and I'm going to click my mouse button, hold it down, and I'm going to move it all the way over the section that I wanted to get rid of. Now I can go to edit here, and I can actually delete that, or I can just even hit my backspace button, and that'll delete that as well. Maybe I'm going to come to the end of my track, and again, I'm on this left cursor. It allows me to select an area. I'm just going to hit my mouse button, and it brings me to this section here, and I'm going to play that to see how I ended the recording. Just hit this yellow stop button, and I want to get rid of that, so I'm going to go right where I was. I'm going to highlight that the same way, holding my mouse button down and dragging over top and hitting my backspace button. That deletes that section of the track. Now I have a nice edited track to work with. If I did have another track to record on there, let's say I'm recording here and it starts off where I left off there. That could be the next segment of my audio track. If I want to go back and have a track at the beginning, again, I can hit the record button and I can record another track. If this was part 2 to my audio track, and I want to move this to the end, because right now they're both going to play at the same time. Right now I'm talking, you can see I wait for it. If I want to move this track over to where this one ends, then I can actually do that by selecting this arrow button. It's the time shift tool. It allows me to pull this track over, pulling my mouse button down and put it where I want it, right there. So when I'm ready to go, I'm going to go back to my selector tool, and I'm going to click to make sure that they run in together smoothly. When I'm ready to stop, the record button, and I can record another track. Great. That's it's as simple as that. Trimming, adding tracks, and moving files around. Now, Waylon's going to show us what to do at this point to save the file on our computer, because there's a step or two that you take, and then you're laughing. So go ahead, Waylon.
Okay, can you hear me, Matt?
I can hear you.
Excellent. Okay, so let me get my screen adjusted here a little bit. And so to save our Audacity file as in a usable format, we're going to look to create an MP3 file. So if I open up my Audacity program here, and I probably should have had that running beforehand, and it's a little slow to come up. Here we go. Okay. And it's working, it's working. I found my computer a little slow today, but here we go. Okay, so Audacity is now up and running. Let me get it into view here. When I'm done, or as Matt has said, I'll do a quick recording here and stop. When we're done, we're going to look to export our audio here. And so when I click export, it pops up here, and I'm going to have some options. The two of the most common ones will be WAV and then MP3 files. Now, before you can export as an MP3 file, we'll need the LAME encoder, and that's just a little file that works with your computer to help convert the Audacity information or data into the MP3. So if we go to the, what I've done is I've actually taken the LAME encoder file and put it on our Tech Tuesday website. So if you go to the Tech Tuesday website and click on the 2014 sessions and scroll down to where we have the Audacity link, we will see first, this is the video that Matt referenced earlier, and we'll have this recording here as well afterwards. But I'm just going to click on this. I'm going to right click actually and save this target, LAME encoder, and I'll save it somewhere. So I'm going to save it just maybe in my documents folder. You can save it anywhere on your computer, it doesn't really matter. And I see here that it's called LAME_ENC save. I already have it there, so that's okay. Now that I have that file there, when I come back to Audacity, And if I go under the edit, so I get that off the screen a little bit here. Let me bring this over. Edit, and I look at the preferences, and down. Let me just get back to find out where it is. Import, export. No. Libraries. Sorry. So this is under the Audacity preferences, and I click on libraries, and it'll say, where's your MP3 library? That's a place where I can put things. And then it asks me about the lame MP3 library, and I could download. In this case, I'm going to hit locate because I have saved it in my documents folder. So if I click on my documents, oops, open that up, and there would be a lame file sitting somewhere. There it is. So I will click on it, say open, and say okay, okay. And now when I go back to the export, I will be able to save as an MP3 file. All right, so that was a lot to take in, but if you review this video, you can just kind of go it step by step at whatever pace you need to. Matt, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you. Okay.
Do you want to share your desktop one more time there, Matt, please?
Here we go. All right. Can you hear me, Waylon?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Just want to go through again. Once you've saved the audio track, again, that's in File, and you can save your project if you're not finished it. You can save your project, and it'll come back exactly the way you see it now. This is a working file because you know sometimes you'll be working on a few things. You can just save your project and put it in the same file as your project. But once you've exported your piece, your audio track as an MP3, then you can actually use your audio track for different purposes. And what I'm going to show you today is a lot of teachers these days are getting good at using Smart Notebook. So this is a Smart Notebook file that I've created. It's an elementary Smart Notebook lesson on sight words. And so what I've shown here is just like a grade 1 or a kindergarten sight word match, where the student has to match the shape, and underneath the shape, as you'll see, is a sight word, and that sight word in this particular case is that. Now if I want to have this activity where I'm going to reinforce the reading and comprehension of that, of recognizing that word, and I actually may want to add an audio track to that word where students can hover their mouse above it and click that word after they've read it. So if you see the instructions here, when you found where the shape belongs, click on the sight word to hear it read out loud. And then you might have the student repeat that themselves. You might even want to have the student record that and have student voices on here. But I'm just going to show you to take this object, the word that, I click on it once and I've selected that object. What I can do I'm using the new Smart Notebook 11, but we're not really advising teachers to have that quite yet. You most likely have the older version of Smart Notebook, which is fantastic. And what you're going to do with that is once you've created that audio file, you've recorded the word that. So let's see, I'm going to actually go in here. I'm just going to record that word myself. So here we go. That. Okay, I've got my word. I'm just going to trim that up again. Highlight it, backspace, highlight it, backspace. I'm going to File, Export as MP3. I'm going to put this onto my desktop. In most cases, I might put that in the project file. I'm just going to call it that sight word. Save it there. And this is just allows you to add more information. You can just click through that. Okay. I'm going to go back to my Smart Notebook file. I'm going to right-click on my word. I'm going to find where it says sound. Click on sound. And then it says sound to play. I'm actually going to browse locate the sound file that I just recorded. I'm going to find it on my desktop. I'm going to come down and find it. It says right here, that sight word. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to open that up. What that does is that puts the file into my smart notebook. And what I have to do is I have to decide if I want the child or the student to click on the corner of the word or the object itself. And I find it's easier to find when you allocate that sound file to the objects themselves. So I'm going to attach that sound to that word by clicking Attach Sound. Now that file should now, that word should now have my recording of the word that. So let's say the student opens up this file and they're working with the game. They match the star to its spot, and then they click on this as they're instructed to. That. And you can see that's a reinforcer for them. They hear the actual word and they'll match it up. I could go through and assign all of sound files for these different sight words. But again, the student just clicks on it and hears it themselves. That. That's just an idea for taking a recorded sound file and sticking into to Smart Notebook. You can also use different things when you're making movies. If you want to have the footage itself in the movie, let's say Microsoft Movie Maker, you can have the footage appear and mute the audio from your actual recording footage from the video camera and add your own audio later on. This is really great if students want to upload some of their content and they want to maybe read some of their stories and have their own voice and personalize them as well. And you can upload those movies and whatever other cool projects you're doing to your school website. Yeah, so again, check the Tech20 website. You'll see the video I've posted on how to record an audio track using Audacity. You'll also see Waylon's link there to the file you'll need for Audacity, the layman coder. And that's pretty basic stuff. If you really want to see more about Audacity, then maybe we could do a follow-up and do a few more things about trimming or even effects. Because if this was not loud enough, and I'll just show you in closing here, if this wasn't loud enough, let's say I recorded a track like this, that, and that's not going to be loud enough, that. I can actually, using my cursor, highlight that, go into my effects, and I just want to amplify that. I'm going to turn that up some, and Audacity has a program where it knows how loud it needs to be without distorting or clipping. I'm going to OK that. You can see the sound file get larger there, and then I can use this file and it'll sound a little bit louder and clearer. That. Okay, so some cool stuff for you to think about and try out. Again, come back to the video and go at your own pace. Thanks for letting us show you about Audacity down on every teacher computer.
Okay, that was great, Matt. Thank you very much. If there's any questions for Matt, feel free to open your mic or type it into the chat section in your Bridget application. Yeah, very good stuff there. I like the idea of adding the sounds to the Smart Notebook files. We experimented with creating read aloud books here and adding the narration to them. But great stuff. Podcasting, another application. You did mention that it's installed on all the teacher laptops, but it's also a free program that anybody can download, so even students could use it at home, right? It's at no cost. So that's great. If there's anything else, I think we've got another one in the can. Thank you very much, Matt.
Thanks, Waylon. Thanks, everyone.
Have a great rest of your Tuesday.